Ladies, welcome to Girl, I Got You. I'm your host, Toya, and I am so excited to be here. I am so excited that you are joining me for my premiere episode. Okay, so listen, let me tell you what it's all about. This is a space for us ladies to come together to navigate the heartbreak that's caused by separation and divorce. Listen, we are on a journey, and this journey is going to be about inspiring you to become all God has called you and created you to be unapologetically. Okay, so I've told you what this is about. So listen, now we're going to get into who I am. How did I even end up here with you today? Okay, so let me tell you, I want to take you back to all the way back in the day to 2020. You guys remember back in the day, 2020, right? And so it was in 2020, you know what we were experiencing? It was COVID. COVID hit us and the world took a loss. But at the same time that the world took a loss, I was taking a loss personally right at the same time. So I'll never forget it. There was one night, everything seemed to be going well that day. And my husband at that time came upstairs, wanted to talk. So I'm like, okay, let's talk. He wanted to talk about how our marriage was going, what my thoughts were. Now listen, no marriage is perfect, right? We all go through things. There's things that we're going to go through in our marriage. There's ups and downs and highs and lows. So I knew that we were a little off. There were some things that we could have talked about, right? And so when he approached, come on, how many of you know? When the man comes to approach, listen, it's like, okay, I'm ready for the conversation. I'm ready for the conversation when the man comes to approach, because y'all know when he want to talk, antennas go up. And so he sat down, he asked me, well, how do you think our marriage is going? So I was excited. I took this as a moment like, okay, we can talk about some things. This is great. He wants to talk. Little did I know that I was on the verge of the ending of my marriage. So at that point, he said to me, I think it would be best for the both of us that we get a separation. So this was such a shocker to me, guys. I never would have expected it. It came out of nowhere, out of left field. And all I could do was freeze. He was talking. I felt like I was hearing him, but the words slowly began to fade. And in that moment, I pleaded, I asked, can we go to therapy? Let's work this out. But his mind was already made up. So at that point, this was what started my journey of healing through separation and divorce. So over the next few weeks, the next several months, listen, I went into what I like to call survival mode. So the kids were home from school and they were being homeschooled, or what I like to call academic management, because listen, I was not trying to be anybody's teacher during COVID. So during this time, I'm having to juggle that also with the news that my husband no longer wanted to be married. So I had to go into, again, survival mode. I had to consider a budget now on one income, look for a place to stay, get furniture. I had to literally do all these things in a very short amount of time. So like I said, there was no time for healing. It was not on the agenda. So once I found a place to stay, got my boys and I settled, I was still going. I knew I was feeling something. I knew this was not right. I knew I did not like it. But at the same time, I couldn't feel it. I couldn't describe it. But I knew I needed to be healed. I knew there needed to be something different. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I used to work out, and because the gyms were closed, I couldn't work out in the gym. But let's face it, if we really wanted to, I could have worked out at home, right? I stopped working out. I started eating. Who's heard of emotional eating? Where we're just eating, we're eating all the wrong things. So I began to gain weight. Then I was drinking. Your girl was having bottles of wine, and it was a couple that I was having during the week. I was doing things that was not serving me. They weren't serving my body. They weren't serving my heart. They weren't serving my mental state. But like I said, again, healing was not on the agenda because I'm trying to process everything that's happening because clearly I didn't even understand what was going on myself, all at the same time while the world was experiencing a new normal. So who's ever heard of this saying that says what happened to you, it wasn't your fault. However, your healing is your responsibility. I had to take that to heart, and I had to say to myself, I said, girl, it's time for you to do something different. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today. If you find yourself in that place, it's time to do something different. So listen, I want you to say it with me and put it in the comments. Girl, it's time to do something different. So listen, we're going to take a break for just a moment. And when I come back, I'm going to let you in on 3 things that I did that were game changers to start my healing journey. I want you ladies to stay locked in with me, and we'll be right back. I am LaToya Hammond, and here at B3, I am the voice. And so what I bring to B3 is my voice, my presence, my authenticity, and my heart is to let women know that no matter what they have been through, no matter what trials they have faced, that it does not define them, and that they have the power from within them to become who they've always supposed to be. So my goal, my heart is to inspire them, to encourage them to be who God has called them to be, unapologetically and without exception. You can find me on Instagram at I_got_you, and you can also find me on Instagram _LaToya Danielle. Make sure you subscribe to B3 Media TV so you can stay locked in to all things Girl, I Got You. So listen, ladies, now you've heard my story. And like I told you, now I'm going to share with you some things that I did. And I'm telling you, they were game changers that started me on my healing journey. So the first thing I want to talk to you ladies about is God. Yes, God.
Join the conversation on B3 Media TV as we discuss important issues affecting women today